Gracias a todos. We have 3 minutes left before we start. 4 minutes, sorry. Hola, Paula. Buenos días, buenas tardes a todos. Christian, has levantado la mano. You have raised your hand. Maybe you want to say something. It will be in English. Será en inglés. For this networking session, this previous session, this 30 minutes, you can either participate in English or Spanish. Para esta sesión previa de networking podéis participar tanto en inglés como en español, pero la charla será en inglés. No, Ricardo, es en inglés. Y Tendra no me diría que no sabe español. Sí, Christian. It will be in English. Será en inglés. We have 2 minutes left before we start. Ok, Paula. Si tenéis un nivel de inglés medio, yo creo que será suficiente para entender los mensajes más importantes que nos trasladará Hitendra. Supongo que algunos o muchos de vosotros sois de la universidad partner que está invitada hoy, que sois de AFIT. Bueno, ahora os preguntaré. Okay, we have 1 minute left. Okay. Ok, John. Sí, ahora os invitaré también a participar por el chat, pero sobre todo a que entréis en directo. Okay, so it's time to start. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to everyone. I am Javier Higueras, the MBA Program Coordinator at La Salle Campus Barcelona. And thanks for joining this La Salle MBA Global Master Class. Let me give a warm welcome to our MBA community and to the rest of the audience, especially to the students of our partner university today, which is EAFIT in Colombia, Universidad de EAFIT. I hope all of you and your families stay well in these difficult months we're facing due to COVID-19. And I'm just want to tell you that in about 30 minutes, we'll start today's master class about lessons from IXL Center, Making Innovation Real with Hitendra Patel. It will be a very interesting masterclass with Hitendra, who will be connected in a while. And in this previous networking time, first of all, I would like that most of you introduce yourself to the audience. So you have you can raise your hand and say hello to the audience and introduce yourself. The idea is that you open your cameras and you can say, I am connecting from this country, I am from EAFIT or from La Salle Barcelona or wherever. And of course, you can also say who are you working for, your company, and your job position, okay, or the industry you are working on, and maybe you can say what you expect to solve in this session with Hitendra about how to bring or identify breakthrough ideas or bringing ideas to commercialization, no? How to do this. I also invite you to share your LinkedIn profile through the chat so we can link among us, and that will be interesting. I see some people like Yvonne Janet, who is introducing herself. She's from the Universidad de San in Peru, who is also a partner university as you guys from EAFIT. And so I want to thank you all. We have 100 people connected right now, so it's a pleasure to have you all here. And I will ask you to please raise your hands and introduce yourselves. Yvonne, adelante. We cannot listen to you.
Sorry. Good morning. I'm very pleased to be here. I'm very expected for the content, and I want to say good morning for all.
Thank you, Yvonne Janet. She's the one that wrote that she was doing the master in project management. Okay, so who's next? Who wanna say where are you connected from? Tatiana, for example, Tatiana Hernandez. I invite you to introduce yourself. Or John.
Hello. May I speak English or Spanish?
English is okay, please.
Okay, my name is Johnny Nestroza. I'm from Colombia. I'm a student of a Master of Business Administration at EAFIT. Welcome to everybody. Okay, I work for a fluid handling manufacturer, and that's it.
Thank you, John. Thank you. David Ochoa. Maybe you can introduce yourself, please. Thank you.
Hello, everybody. Sure. Okay, so my name is David Ochoa. I'm from Colombia. I'm currently studying at the AFIT. My current position in my company, I'm the Global Master Data Manager for OI, Owens, Illinois. And I'm happy to be here, right?
Thank you very much, David. Okay, maybe Maria Camila or Camila.
Yes, hello everybody. My name is Maria Camila. I'm doing my master in EAFIT in Colombia. I'm an industrial engineer and I'm working in Unilever as a marketing specialist in the industrial market, like the products which go to business and restaurants and hotels and everything. And I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria Camila, for sharing this information with us. As I said, maybe you can put your LinkedIn profiles in the chat so we can all link together. That will be interesting. as you may connect with people that you don't know, and that will be a value, or an extra value from the session.
Okay, thank you.
Paula Alzate, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, my name is Paula Alzate. I'm studying MBA in EAFIT. I'm working in PwC, and my position is consultant. And we work on different projects of Mayan in, I don't remember the word.
You can say it in Spanish if not.
Okay, diseño organizacional.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Okay, thank you very much, Paula. And very interesting companies that you are working for, and maybe Miguel Moreno can introduce himself to the audience.
Yes, hello, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Miguel Moreno. I am from Medellin, Colombia. Right now, a student of the MBA program at Universidad AFIT. My background has been mainly in corporate finance. I work for an investment banking firm here in Medellin, and I'm really looking forward to hear this conference and learn more about innovation.
Thank you very much, Miguel, for your words. Julian, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, everybody. I am Julian Hurtado. I am from Colombia, in Pereira City. I work in a multinational company in Manizales site. It's a factory building the chemical products. I am studying the MBA in the EAFIT University. Okay, no more.
Okay,
I am
thank you.
mechanical engineering. No?
Sorry, can you repeat?
I am mechanical engineering.
Okay, a mechanical engineer. Okay, great. That is also interesting because I'm sure we have a very big variety of profiles, academically and professionally, and that is very, very interesting. Who would want to introduce himself or herself? Anani Valer? Okay. Anani, you have permissions, so you can open your cam and we will listen to you. And after
Okay,
Amelia, maybe?
Hello.
Hello.
Brother Valer. I am in Ivory Coast. I'm the director of African Center, Africa Lassallian Center in here, Abidjan. It is a higher institution of science of education. I'm very happy to be with you.
Thank you very much, Anani Valer. And as I was telling you, we have today very different profiles. So, and from other Christian university or our Lassallian sisters institution in Dijon, no? You said, Anani Valer?
Yes, Ivory Coast.
Okay, Abricos. Okay, it's great to have you here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the session.
Thank you.
Okay. Amelia, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, hello. Yes, good evening, everyone. So I'm Amelia Saponio from the Philippines. I'm an industrial engineer from La Salle, Manila, and I'm working as a strategic partnerships head in a local payments industry here in the Philippines, as well as heading the operations of one of our subsidiaries. So looking forward to learning a lot on innovation as I've been practicing innovation with my companies that I work with.
Thank you very much, Amelia. Also, well, present from La Salle, Philippines, which is great. I know people from there, but I haven't been to. Maybe once, also to Dijon. It will be great if I have the opportunity to meet you in another moment. Okay, and let's see. I think I've been listening to Hitendra other times, and it's very interesting that what he's gonna share with us. So I hope you find it interesting. Okay, who wants to introduce himself or herself? Please raise your hand, and our technical team will give you permissions. Okay, there are some. Prijal Ramdin. You have your mic is mute.
Hi, Javier. Hi, everybody.
Hola, Hernán.
My name is Hernan David Ramirez. I am from Medellin, Colombia. I am electrical and electronic engineer. I'm doing the MBA program in Universidad de AFIT, and I work in Otis Elevator Company in Medellin.
Okay, great. It's also a worldwide company, as many others, and it's interesting that we have you here today. Thank you, Hernan, for your introduction. Prijal Ramdin, do you want to introduce yourself? Or yes, okay. Let's see if it works now. The microphone is muted. You have to unmute your microphone, because we see your video, but we don't listen to you. No, we don't listen to you. Okay, well, we'll try it in another moment. Maybe Julián Hurtado. Okay, I think.
I wanna finish the presentation.
Okay. Thank you, Julián. Thank you. I thought I had said your name, but I wasn't sure because it appeared again. Okay, Bolena Campo.
Hey, Javier, how are you?
Fine, and you? We don't see your video. Maybe you is not working.
No.
We listen
Let
to
me a
you. Okay,
second.
but you can.
Hey.
Okay, now, great, Bolena.
Hey, how are you? Hi, guys. I am Bolena Campo. I am doing the MBA in EAFIT. I have had experience in business, in finance and insurance industry. But currently I work in marketing analytics with an artificial intelligence education company. So I'm looking for learn more about tools and theories about innovation for small companies.
Okay, thank you, Bolena. We had a masterclass in artificial intelligence. The last one was about that topic. So besides today innovation, you might look for it and watch it, because it was also very, very interesting. In our La Salle Barcelona MBAs, we also work in this kind of stuff from a business point of view, but sometimes we do sessions with also examples and demos in BI applications, so we can see the possibilities, no? Not only the strategy that is what we are here for in the MBAs, but also the tools that are available, and you can start with them to use them. So I invite you, Bolena, to look for that session of artificial intelligence, the last one we did. Okay, we have many people here. To Claudia Villamarin, for example.
Hi.
Hola, Claudia. Can you introduce yourself?
Okay. Good afternoon. Okay, my name is Claudia Villamarin. I'm in Medellin, Colombia. I am a student of the MBA program in EAFIT. I work in Brinza in trade marketing. I am in charge of the traditional channel, and Brinza is a maker of products in the industry of consumer fast goods.
Okay, thank you very much, Claudia.
Thank you so much.
Okay, let's see. Victor Atencia.
Hi, Javier. Hi, Javier.
Hi, Victor. How are you today?
Fine, and you?
Fine. Please
Hi,
introduce
Gay.
yourself. Thanks.
Hi, Gay. My name is Victor Atencia. I'm studying MBA in IAFI University. I work in to the Sena, Colombia. My profession is system engineer and electronic engineer. My specialty is security, networking, and cybersecurity. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Victor. Let's see, Andres. Andres, I don't know how to your
No
surname.
problem.
Sorry.
No problem. I'm used to it. My name is Andres Leap.
Okay.
I'm studying the MBA in with EAFIT here in Bogota, in Colombia. I'm an industrial engineer, but I'm working in the finance department as a finance director in Samsung, Colombia. Very interesting and a lot of expectations from this session, because it seems there's a lot of people and we have a very expert, panelists. So it will be great to hear about the topic and share thoughts.
Thank you, Andres, and thank you to all the people is joining today and the ones that are joining from EAFIT. I know some of you of other editions that had the possibility to come to Barcelona, so it's great to have you today here. I see some messages through the chat. Tatiana, let's see if our technical team may give you permission so you can introduce yourself in a few minutes. Julian, I give you the possibility to introduce yourself, please.
Hello.
Hello, Julian.
Moment, please. My name is Julian Mejia. My name is Julian Mejia. I'm a veterinarian. I work in the poultry production. I am a production director in an important company in Colombia in this area. I am a finished the MBA at IAFIT.
Okay.
I'm from Bogota, Colombia.
Okay, thank you, Julian. Very interesting too. María Antonia Gutiérrez.
Hi.
Hola, María Antonia.
Hi, my name is Maria Antonia. I am from Nicaragua. I will start the master in project management in October in La Salle. I am currently working in Nicaragua as a sales in livestock industry in a family business. And I'm also working in a project called Net Impact. I don't know if you have heard of that as an advocate. And I'm excited because this is a webinar from La Salle, so I'm excited to be here. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Maria Antonia, and thank you to be here.
Thank
I
you.
see many people from all around the world, so it's what technology provides us, this possibility, this opportunity to share time in different time zones of the world also, that it's very, very interesting. As Philippines, I don't know what time is there, but they might be in their night. And the other ones that are in America, you are maybe in the morning. So it's great. Let me give Oscar, maybe you present yourself, please. Oscar Sanchez. Okay, maybe he's not ready. Maritza, do you want to introduce yourself? Ahora está Oscar. Maritza primero. Okay.
Hello, everyone. I'm Marixa Perez from Medellin, Colombia. I'm studying an MBA program in EAFIT. I work for Renault Colombia in financial area, like a performance and control controller in the corporate finance.
Okay,
Thank
you very much, Maritza. Okay, and Oscar, maybe you can introduce yourself now. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Hi, Javier. I'm Oscar Sanchez. I'm from Colombia, Bogota, Colombia. I'm studying my MBA in EAFIT University, and now I'm working in Alma Cafe, the logistics enterprise, the first 4PL in Colombia. I'm an industrial engineer, and I have my specialty in supply chain management.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Oscar. So, as I was telling you, many profiles from different places, and all we have in common today's interest, but also MBA studies. So it's great that the MBA community is so wide, and I also invite you to put your LinkedIn profile through the chat so we can link among us. Okay, we have just 5 minutes left. We will have Josep Miquel Piqué, the MBA director of La Salle Campus Barcelona, who will be with Hitendra in this MBA Global Master Class from La Salle. Okay, no, I don't know if we have time for one or two more. That you can introduce yourself. Please raise your hands, maybe from another place, a different country. Okay, Christian. I asked the technical team to give you permissions. Okay, Christian, go ahead.
Hola, hello. I'm Christian, and I am studying in MBA Affit. And I'm nice to meet you.
Thank you, Christian.
Vale.
Okay. Any other? you might have a lot of questions, no, about innovation and how innovation inside companies is being changing, no, in the last times. So and how to identify these great ideas, these breakthrough ideas, and maybe how to bring these ideas to commercialization. Okay, I see Yvonne Vargas. Okay, Hitendra. Hello, how are you?
Hi, good to see you again. I'm gonna find myself with the right light and move a little bit of
Okay, perfect.
2 minutes, okay?
Okay.
But I've got a presentation which is a 4x3. It's not a 960. Okay.
Don't worry.
All right.
They will give you permission, so you can test it.
Okay. Let me see, where do I want to go with the best lights? Studio. This is like a box. It is nice.
Okay.
Hola, Yusef.
So, yes, thank you, Natalia, for sharing your profile. Also, Andres. So, yes, it's interesting that we have many profiles here today. So, I invite you to share it through the chat. While Hitendra is looking to have the best light.
Hello,
Okay,
Javier,
Josep.
how are you?
Yes, fine, and you?
Thank you. I am at La Salle campus. You are living in the cloud. Hitendra Patel is living in the cloud. I am living in the earth. In this case, in the earth of La Salle, inside the campus. As you know, we have an incredible team that is managing all this network. By the way, I was really enjoying a lot all your introduction of the people from EAFIT and also our MBA, because I had really the wonderful opportunity to visit several times in Medellin. If you don't find me in Barcelona, perhaps you will find me in Medellin. Yes, just for you to know, because as you know, Medellin is a city of innovation. I remember when I was working in the City Council of Barcelona, we had an agreement between Barcelona and Medellin to bridge both ecosystems, and we were transferring all our experience in Barcelona to develop the 22 district, our innovation district, to transfer to Ruta N in Medellin. And really, they were working very hard, and nowadays I believe that Medellin is one of the hot innovation cities in terms of innovation. They are doing an incredible work because they were coming from a very complex situation in the past time, and now they are understanding that they can lead the innovation. And they understanding that they can lead the innovation. Do you know why, Javier? Because they trust in themselves. They trust in themselves. They know that they can manage their future. It's not just waiting for I don't know what, it's that they are creating the future. And when I had the possibility to visit EAFIT, I was in the campus of EAFIT in Medellin. I was with the president of the university, the vice chancellor, and also the director of the MBA and the different team. They have, by the way, an incredible campus. It's a big campus. La Salle is a big campus in the city of Barcelona, but really EAFIT is a very big campus. And more than that, they have an incredible, let me tell you, it's a secret for you, Javier, and also Hitendra HP. There is a secret for all of you. If you go to Medellin, ask for la bandeja paisa. This is a secret that only the people from Medellin know. This is something that you can eat and you can never stop because it's a big plate, plenty of food, incredible food, and really is a secret, just to know. And the second secret for Medellin, when you go to Rio Negro, the airport, and you go to the city center, before you go to the city center, there is a circle, there is a runabout, before to go to Medellin, that is an incredible place for eating a wonderful meet. And let me tell you, because HP, you have a lot of friends in Brazil, and we always are thinking of Brazil or Argentina or Uruguay. What is the best meat or the best meat from cow? Really, in Colombia, they have a very good meat. Very, let me tell you, they are competing, but in the shadow. If you want to eat a good food, you can go there and really. I'm sorry, Javier, because I'm disturbing your presentation, but was good to know, and really I'm very, very happy to be with you. Javier, thank you for this interaction. You know, HP is for the friends of Hitendra Patel, but HP is a very fast way to tell the best name for him. As you know, we are doing this Global MBA Master Class in order to do two things. First, to share with our MBA students the best knowledge from the world. We had people from UC Berkeley, we had people from Cornell, but in the roadmap of the professors, we were dreaming with you. We were dreaming, and you know, if you are not dreaming, you cannot get your dream. And we were dreaming, why not HP can really deliver a key knowledge about how can we scale small and medium companies, how can we scale and how can we use innovation for doing a disruptive innovation. And the second element in these meetings is that we are inviting other business school and MBA students from other schools, in this case from EAFIT Medellin, that they are joining our MBA students, our full-time and executive MBA students. It means that you have both communities together. Also, we are opening to all the communities, but really the focus is our MBA alumni or future MBA students. And the reason why we are here, because we want to listen more and more about how to scale. Because we talk about innovation, we talk about how that innovation is a key word, no? Everybody is using innovation. But how to apply this word, how to develop this word. And taking advantage of your experience, taking advantage also of all the activities that you are doing in IXL, that if you can express IXL Center, and also how you work in Jimmy Institute, how from Boston you are lighting, you are like a lighthouse of innovation. You are lighthouse, but it's not a Boston lighthouse. It's a Boston lighthouse for the world, because you are working in Brazil. You are working. You can tell us your high curriculum and also the activities that you are doing in IXL, because at the end of the day, we want for the students to take away the key knowledge of this wonderful masterclass from you. And for all of that, we want to introduce yourself. But let me ask you a little more about you, because you are, in this case, you have different. Let me go to the. You are a PhD in Materials Science and Engineering from Iowa State University. You are a Master of Business Administration from Kellogg School of Management. You have a Bachelor in Science and Electrical Engineering. This is the official curriculum. But can we add any other thing on this official curriculum? Because I feel that the students, they perhaps think that the students, it's about just titles, but more than titles are your activity. Can you add a little more about what you are creating with IXL and all these projects that you are trying to impact the world?
Thank you very much for inviting me to this great, fantastic forum. I'm looking forward to working with the students and talking to them and sharing, exchanging ideas. What a great platform to be almost everywhere. Couple of things which might be very helpful to you in terms of my background. I mean, the first thing is I was born in Southern Africa, in Zambia, so I'm African. But my parents actually are from Asia, from India. So I am actually Asian. I'm Asian and African. But the British used to rule Zambia. And because the British ruled Zambia, I speak English, my education was English, and I'm actually a British citizen. So I've got a British passport. So I'm actually European. So not only am I African and Asian, I'm also European. But I decided to go study in the United States and go to college in the US. And I stayed here a lot, and I've become an American. So I'm now a North American. Somewhere along the way, when I got my MBA, I decided to grab my backpack, and I went to South America, to Brazil, to Mexico, and I fell in love with Latin America and started a business over there. And it was venture capital finance and everything else. And my heart became Latin American also. So question for you guys to consider is, if I were to find a wife, where do you think I should bring where should I have got my wife from? From Asia, Africa, from Europe, from North America, South America? And the correct answer is probably Australia, and that would mean I would have the whole world in my hand. The whole world would be in my hand, right? My wife is from Puerto Rico, from the Caribbean. Yeah, so she's a Latina. But I wanted to share that with you because this is one of the gifts that I got was I have a foot in multiple continents. And as a result, I was able to see the world in a different way. If you were just born in Iowa, then your world is a farm, pigs, and how you live with other farmers. And if you just live in a country in Brazil only, and you never got out of Brazil, then all your life is Brazil. But if you have a foot in multiple countries and multiple cultures and multiple disciplines, then you will be able to see things with a different perspective. And this will be the main part of my conversation with you today, is why is this so important to be also educated in psychology and physics and electrical engineering and an MBA, because at the end of the day, human beings they have human needs, and we got to connect them with human needs, with business needs, with financials and all that together and make sure it all makes sense together. I'm an entrepreneur, and I learned most of my education was actually by doing. I went to school, and the formal education was very helpful. It gave me structure, it gave me some discipline. But at the end, it was rolling up the sleeves and doing things that helped me the most. I started many startups. I worked in Motorola. I made the lithium-ion battery with my team. And then also on top of that, with IXL Center, we've been helping for the last 30 years, big companies, small companies, universities with innovation management and innovation results. And Jimmy provides a certification around this type of thinking to make sure there are standards globally around it. So I talked for a long time, Professor PK, but I just wanted to answer part of your question.
This is a gift because I didn't know this history with you. That's wonderful. I feel that we will provide to you the global passport. When you will go to the moon or the Mars, you can really get the, because you have a lot of passports, and perhaps we have to create a global passport, a person that is a global citizen. Why not? Because until now we are divided by nations, and it seems that perhaps it's not running very well when we are trying to transform our world in terms of sustainability or in terms of human connection and whatever. But let's go for the master class. I feel that you will manage your presentation. It means that you will share the slides. Perfect. Whenever you want, please go ahead, and after your presentation, we'll open a dialogue with the chat with our students. Go ahead. If you can span your presentation full screen, that's perfect. That's okay. Really good. Really good. Wonderful. Good.
So this is a picture which kind of tells you how old I really am. When I was 4 years old, my father held my hand and he told me to go outside at night. It was 1969. And he said, look up there. And I looked at the moon. I looked at my dad pointing at the moon. And he said, there's a man walking on the moon. And then he looks down at me and he looks back at the moon and says, we humans are amazing. We can do anything. And as I looked at the moon with my eyes, I swear I saw somebody walking on the moon. Because when you're 4 years old, you see things. And I saw somebody walking on the moon. And I looked at my father's face and I was amazed by how amazed he was. And I realized that if people can do this, and this is how amazed people are, I wanted to be the same sort of person. I wanted to also be a change maker. And this is the first story of innovation. Every one of you has a story when you were 4 years old where you believed you could do anything. You imagine that you'll be an explorer. You imagine that you'll be the first to do something. You imagined. And at that time, you even believed it. But over time, as you went to school, you went to work in companies, you began to forget that. What I want to do is bring you back to the point when you were 4 years old, where you imagined and you believed anything was possible. I want each one of you to be inspired by this presentation I'm going to give to you so that you too can become change makers. Change the world, change something big, but be the change. And as a 4-year-old, you believe you can do it. And let's become 4 years old today, okay? Wonderful. I want to just share with you that one thing that happened recently is
really great news for me. I started a company in Santa Catarina when I was probably about 25 years old, 26 years old. And it took 25 years to build this company in Santa Catarina in Brazil. We started off as a machine vision company back then and eventually a robotics company. To say you had a robotics company in 1996 made no sense at all. Made no sense at all to anybody saying, what is a robotics company in 1996? Well, just last week, Accenture bought our company and made the first acquisition in robotics in the world. And we exited a company with over 400 employees, a company that was working all across Brazil and South America and the US, putting robots in factory floors and making things happen. And why am I sharing this with you? I want to make sure you guys appreciate that what I'm going to share with you is not based on book knowledge, but it's knowledge based on experience of having built companies that nobody would have believed were things we should have done. And eventually people believed, and eventually they bought the company. So that's the big news that I want to share with you and use that as a thing. But this has been very satisfying because often people will ask me, how many companies did you fail? They kind of laugh at me. But eventually there are successes that makes you very proud of what you've done. What are we going to do today? We're going to talk about innovation. We're going to talk about breakthrough innovation. What's a breakthrough idea? How do you get it? And then we're going to talk about the entrepreneurial journey. What does it take? All right. So the question to all of you is, why do you want to be an entrepreneur? Why do you want to be an innovator? It's a very fundamental question, and everybody should take the time to think about it. The answers people give usually about wanting to be an entrepreneur is because they want to get rich. They want to be like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, whatever. And yes, entrepreneurs can become very rich if they're successful. Others will say, I want to be an entrepreneur because I don't want to have a boss. I want to have my own company and I don't need to report to anybody else. Some might be inspired by an idea that they have, they fall in love with that idea and they think this will change the world. And therefore you can say, I'm going to make something out of it. Whatever your reasons, entrepreneurship is a human condition. Wherever there's a need and there is no solution for it, there is somebody who's going to step up and create a solution for it, and people will buy and pay for it. So entrepreneurship is a great journey. It's a difficult journey, but if you're successful, it can certainly make you smile and feel very proud and very accomplished. Okay? Good. I hope some of you will think about that. Go ahead, Professor PK, you can jump in anytime.
No, yeah, because it seems that entrepreneur is not just to create a startup. You can be entrepreneur in a big corporation. You can be entrepreneur in a public sector. You can be entrepreneur just not waiting and follow the others. It means that you can create new things, no?
And that's a great point. I used to work in Motorola, and in Motorola, they would really reward and recognize the people who are the innovators. And they really said they believed that there was a company for the present and there was a company for the future. And there were managers managing the current business, and there were leaders creating a bright future. And they would really respect the innovators because they had to work in ambiguity and uncertainty, which was much harder to work than in working in something that is well-defined. And my experience at Motorola is the management team of those organizations really respected those who were always saying, what else, what's next, and what if.
Good.
So I want to basically let you know this is what's happening over the last 30, 40, 50 years. The pace of innovation is accelerating. And it's accelerating for many, many, many reasons. What took Motorola as a company almost 50 years to disappear? Motorola invented the cell phone. Motorola invented the flat panel TVs. Motorola invented the microprocessor. Motorola did everything in the 90s. There is no more Motorola. It took 40 years for Nokia to beat Motorola, BlackBerry to beat Motorola, and eventually Apple to beat everybody. But in the last 10, 15 years, we have seen the pace of change accelerate.
Whole industries can disappear in less than 8 years, like bookstores by Amazon. The whole travel industry gets disrupted by Priceline. Netflix changes everything. Apple beats Motorola, Nokia, and BlackBerry. Solid companies in less than 3 years. So what changed? What made these things happen? And it's a combination of digital. It's a combination of global. It's a combination of basically people thinking about business models instead of technology specifically, but a lot of things were in play. And therefore, the speed at which you can innovate today is far greater than ever before. And this is what I want to let you share with you, that there has never been a better time if you want to innovate than now. And why is that? Well, look at this. If you had to build a business, my father built a factory in Southern Africa for making clothes. In order to make the factory, he had to buy the machines. He had to find people to run the machines. He had to make the design. He had to make the clothes. Then once the clothes were made, he had to put them in boxes. He had to package them. And then he had to find trucks to move them. Then he had to sell them. Well, guess what? All those issues of the old have been solved by specific companies who do specific things. If you want to do payment, you don't have to worry about cash now. There's PayPal, Visa, and other payment systems. If you want to do sales, there's HubSpot, Salesforce, and many other things. If you want to do marketing, there's Google and Facebook with all the technology inside that technology to allow you to do it faster, quicker, cheaper. If you want to distribute something, hey, there's FedEx, there's DHL. If you want to make something, manufacture something, there's Alibaba.com. It doesn't matter. Today, if you have a great idea, you don't have to build the whole value chain. There are partners along the value chain that you can collaborate with. And next second, you can build the whole business in half the time, 1/10 the time, so you can get your idea to scale faster. The more you think apart, anything outside.
These are very interesting insights. It means that you mean that you can take advantage of the resources and companies that are around you in order to grow fastly and more effective way. Because if you need to develop a system of payment or a system of logistics and so on, you will need time, cost, and also you cannot, you have to compete with them. I mean, you are telling us that you have to take advantage of the capabilities of the ecosystems to develop your business proposition. No? That's the key idea behind that. No?
Don't think about just you and your small team. Think of the ecosystem that you should be leveraging of partners.
Wonderful. Good.
That's
Very
perfect. Good. And also, this is not just about the value chain. Even inside your business, there are technologies today that you don't have to worry about. You don't need to be the world's expert in accounting. There's a company called QuickBooks who will help you do that. You don't need to create a system for knowledge sharing. G Suites will take care of that for you. Google Suites. Payroll will be managed by somebody else. If you want to do training, send them to Coursera or Udemy. All these things are there to make your life easier. So if you have a great idea, focus on the idea and build an ecosystem around you. And therefore, you should be able to launch faster, scale faster, distribute further, and everything else. There is no reason why you can't look 10 times bigger, get to market 10 times faster for 1/10 the cost. This is the new era, and that's your era. And it's a much, I won't say easier, it's an easier time to build a company. But the danger, of course, is your competitor can also do the same. So you need to go fast.
What a pity. That's good. Wonderful.
Yes. So let's talk about the big idea. Everybody, in order to start a company, should come up with a big idea. And let's begin with the question. How many of you in the audience would like to work for a small idea? Anybody? And the answer usually is no. So you should always start with a big idea, because big ideas attract other people to you. Big ideas attract customers to you. Big ideas attract suppliers to you. Big ideas make it exciting to wake up every morning and to try and do as much as you can through the day before you go to sleep. A big idea is one which is exciting, which is compelling, which makes you want, just like your little bicycle you had as a little kid. when you first got your bicycle and you were riding it all day and your mother said, hey, it's time to go to sleep. And you said, Mommy, one more time. And you put the bicycle to the side after that one more time. You looked at the bicycle even as you went to sleep. What were you thinking about? That bicycle. And then you woke up. What did you do? Back to the bicycle. That's what you want. You want an idea that you don't want to go to sleep. And when you wake up, you want to work on it. So all of you, make sure that you have a big idea. And if it's not big, make it bigger. But big ideas inspire you and inspire others. Now the question is, how do you come up with a big idea? That's the big question. And here's the recipe. You should ask 4 questions. Only 4 questions. And if you can get a yes on these 4 questions, then you probably have a breakthrough idea. The 4 things are around the breakthrough idea. The first one is, what trends is this idea based on? And this is an important question to ask. Because trends give you a view of what the future looks like. Let me simplify it. Any idea that you work on today is not an idea about today. The idea you're working about has to be relevant in the future. 3 years from now, maybe 5 years from now, but it's an idea about the future, where there are future customers and future competition and future solutions. It takes you time to take your idea to implement it. It might take 3 months, maybe 6 months, sometimes a year. So it's about at least 1 year out, maybe 2 years out. And then if you do make the solution, you want to make money from it from more than 1 year after that, 2 years after that. So you need to be able to see the future. Your idea has to be in the future. How many of you guys can see the future? Does anybody have a grandmother with a crystal ball? Do you look at your hand and you look at the lines on your hand to see what the future is? How do you see the future? And the best way to see the future is just using trends. Trends give you a glimpse of what the world's going to look like next. In the United States, we have a trend. It's an amazingly big trend and people are fighting and ignoring it. It's called the United States of Latin America. We are about to become a Latin country. It is not where Mexico starts. It's going to be the US and Canada will be the last one. But if we are about to become a Latin country, what kind of ideas should you be coming up with? And your ideas should probably be a restaurant from food from England or food with rice and beans. A radio station with music, which has got salsa and merengue. Or
Better.
What? There you go. So the trends tell you what the future looks like. And you need to understand what the trends are. I'm going to talk about some of those trends a little bit later on. But I want to make sure if you cannot see the future, then your idea might be not relevant in the future. So your idea must survive in the future. So if somebody asks you, it says, I have a great idea, you say to them, great, what trends is it based on? Is it a trend of globalization? Is it a trend about climate change? What is the trend that we are betting this idea on? Number one. The second one is whatever idea you have, it's got to serve human needs. A human being must need it. And if they need it, then they might pay money for it. So you need to articulate clearly who is the human, what is the need, and how the solution will satisfy that need. And if you can articulate that, that's fantastic. But if you cannot, not a breakthrough. All right? Not a breakthrough. Now, even if you serve a human need, and human needs are things like oxygen, water, food, shelter, convenience. Even if you serve a human need and the person wants to give you money, if you do not have a business model to collect the money properly, then you may not extract the value of the solution that is serving the need. Two companies.
No, sorry, HP, in this case, it's very important. The trend could be pollution in cities, but the human needs must be what kind of solutions we need for the pollution. If there is not a need, you will not have a market. It means that trend is an insight, but you have to double check that it will be a human need. It means at the end of the day, buyers or customers or clients for this need. Sorry for that, but it's a very important insight.
Perfect. So now you have the human need. Somebody will say, thank you very much for your solution. And now I should pay you some money. But if you don't have a good business model, you may not collect your fair share of the money. Two companies could be providing the same sort of breakthrough solution, but one company makes more money. How is that possible? Well, let's look at Apple and Samsung. They make very similar products. It's a phone. Apple and iPhone and a Samsung look almost the same, but Apple makes almost 30% EBITDA versus about 10 to 12% EBITDA at Samsung. How can one company make more money when they both serve the same human need? And it comes down to the business model. Samsung has no iCloud. Samsung has no partnerships with anybody with products or movies. Samsung doesn't have a Mac and at the same time an iPad, which connects together into one family where things move around quickly. And because of that model of the network of devices, Samsung is not able to compete financially, even though it delivers the same sort of value proposition on the phone. The business models matter, and choosing the right business model will affect how much money you'll be making in the future. And I'll talk about that also a little bit more in detail and give some more examples. The fourth question that you got to nail down is your idea is relevant in the future. Somebody has a human need for it. You got a great business model to collect the money. Well, if you're that successful, competition is going to come. They're going to copy you. Now you can wait for the competition to come and then fight them in the future, or you can design today barriers to entry. Today you design the barriers to entry so that they can't copy you. Today you design the barriers to entry so that they can't get your suppliers. Today you create the barriers to entry to make sure the customers are locked in. But you do that today instead of waiting. And those who are able to think through these 4 questions, and if you say yes, yes, yes to all of them, you may just have an innovation breakthrough. Okay. So it's a simple recipe. Put this on the wall somewhere, print it out. But every time somebody comes up with an idea, ask them with these 4 questions. PK, I'm going to go into more detail, but I'm happy to take a question or a conversation.
Yeah, in this way, barriers to entry perhaps could be patents or intellectual property, something that can, but beyond that, it could be different strategies of partners that blocking the others can join the partners that you are using. It means that it's a very complex, because barriers to entry is a very open element, no? How many barriers you can use to it. But that's interesting, very interesting.
But I want to make sure that patents are helpful, but there is no barrier to entry on a patent. Motorola had 500 patents for cell phones. Within a year, there were cell phones at Philips, Ericsson, and Sony. And we fought with them. You can't do that. And they says, yes, we can. And eventually, people exchanged some money and they continued producing what they had to produce. But it's very hard. What you really want to do is build scale, get bigger, or lock in partners, customers, suppliers, or make sure there's a version 2 and a version 3 planned. So that when version 1 launches, somebody copies the version 1, the day they copy, you launch version 2. But there are other ways to make sure barriers to entry are in place. Be very careful that the patent is only as good as the other person's ethics. There's nothing stopping people from copying.
Yeah,
right? And you got to be willing to fight with them.
Very good.
Okay. So let's look at some trends. There are many trends out there, but I want to just make sure you guys are kind of provoked with some ideas and I titillate your brain a little bit. There is green. We are going to become a green planet. We are going to make sure
that we're going to recycle, renew, and reuse. Green is a big trend. And if you don't believe it, don't worry. It doesn't matter. Your kids believe it. My daughter, when I go take a shower, and she was 6 years old, she's standing outside with a little clock, and a clock with the alarm. And 7 minutes, the alarm goes off. She's banging on the door. Papa, Papa, get out. So I'm like, what do you mean get out? He says, Papa, you've been in the shower too long. So I'm like, you're a 7-year-old kid. Who gives you right to kick me out? It's my house, is what I'm thinking. She's my daughter. And I say, Maya, you're right. We need to conserve water. We need to conserve energy. And I get out of the shower all mad. This next generation of people are demanding that we have got green, a circular economy types of solutions in everything we do. Solar is here. All those things are going to happen. Big trend on green and recycling, renewing and reusing. On the other side is connectivate. Everything in the world's connected. Everything. Because of sensors, because of the digital, because of wireless, because of computation, because of storage. And from there comes big data, AI, and all that kind of stuff. But the outcome of that is connectivate. Things are connectivate, and so that anything you want, you can have now. A student at this moment in a real classroom can order a pizza. And the pizza guy can come and deliver the pizza in the middle of the classroom. And the professor will not like it. And you will tell the student, why did you do that? And he will tell you, because I can't. We are in a new generation where things are going to change. Because people can, they will. And we need to change with the fact that everything got smaller. Distance got smaller, time got smaller, delta X, delta T got smaller into a singularity. Connectivate changes everything. Health and weight, 20% of the GDP of every country is spent on health. You and I want to live longer. We are in a pandemic, we are sheltering, we're looking for vaccines, and we're paying lots of money for all of this stuff. Health innovations are coming so that we will live longer, we'll live better, we'll live cheaper. Health is a big trend across every front, from biotechnology, nanotechnology, and the very definition of beauty. Big trends over there. And then the fourth one was something that I made a bet on 25 years ago with the company that we sold. Robotics. Every inconvenience in your life, everything that you don't want to do, we will have a robot who's willing to do it. And that robot will do it better and not complain. And will do it safer. Whether it's cars and autonomous planes, autonomous trains, or whether it's hospitals and schools where things are taken care of, machines inside there, or a factory floor. It does not matter. Robots are coming and they will do it better than you. And they could also come into your social life as human partners and human friends. What you saw on TV as science fiction is going to be a reality. These are the major trends that we're going to have soon. And these trends are just 4 of many others. But I want you to start thinking about them because they give you a view of what the world will look like. PK, I'm going to go to the next slide if it's okay.
Go ahead,
no question?
go ahead, because we have questions, but we will put at the end of the presentation. We have some questions from the audience, but let's go to the end when you will finish.
Okay. So now I'm going to go really fast and provoke you. Because of Greenovate, we are about to end the end of traditional farming. One of my friends is right now creating a tractor that goes around Iowa, digging, tilling, planting seeds, no humans. No human is in that truck, and they're basically saying it's the end of traditional farming with robotics. But that's not the only thing. Guess what they're farming now? They're also farming animals in Iowa. Not pigs, and not cows, and not chickens. Insects. Why insects? Because the protein is better, cheaper in terms of water usage and energy usage. The future of protein is changing, and therefore we're now harvesting and farming insects. End of oil. Europe, Germany, 50% of their energy is now going to nuclear, wind, and for 2 to 4 weeks of Germany last year, they used zero oil in terms of the energy that powered the country. If you are in the oil industry, be careful. The end of waste, anything that has weight, anything that has volume, anything that has got temperature, and you throw it away, shame on you. That's called money. You can take all of that and recycle, reprocess, and reuse. There is no more waste. The very bathroom you use to flush the toilet, that same water will come back, processed, clean for you to drink again. The end of waste is here. On health, the end of doctors. We got devices, we got WebMD, we got diagnostic devices on the phone, which tells you about blood pressure, it tells you about diabetes. The phone is better than the doctor. Bye-bye. The end of doctors is coming. Technology will replace that very soon. End of ugly. There will be no more ugly people on the planet. Everybody will have beautiful teeth. Everybody will have perfect faces. The shape of your body will be sculpted. We are all going to look beautiful. Maybe it's a little late for me, but for all the young people, they're going to be beautiful. And PK, if you look at any selfie of the kids, any group picture, they all are incredibly photogenic.
Yeah.
But generation, teeth are crooked and everything else. The end of ugly.
Okay. That's very nice. Very interesting.
Connectivate, there's no more waiting, guys. No more waiting anymore. End of waiting. If you are making your customers wait, they'll go somewhere else. End of thinking. Anytime we get bored, we look at our phone and we're looking at Netflix, Facebook. There is no more boredom. But end of thinking is even funnier. We trust Alexa. We trust GPS systems to tell us where to go, and we don't even question. We don't even question the GPS on Google. You leave point A and you go to point B, and it tells you turn left, turn right, turn right, turn left, recalculating, turn left, and you arrive where you need to. What if your phone were to break in the middle of the journey? What if, do you know where you are? Do you know how to go back? We don't think anymore, and we don't need to, because we got better systems of thinking. In factories, in RoboWait, it's the end of lights. No more lights in the factories, because robots don't need lights. End of accidents. Because of collective intelligence and artificial intelligence, cars will be driving better than humans will ever do. And anything which is inconvenience will disappear. These are trends. These trends are important. They give you a view of what the world looks like. When I was at Motorola, on my first 4 days of work, in the morning, all the technologists were told to go watch 3 hours of Star Trek. It was a TV show. Captain Kirk was in that TV show with Spock. Those were the characters of this TV show called Star Trek, science fiction. And we watched it the first day. In the afternoon, we had to kind of do some paperwork, come back the next day, we watch some more. And then on the fourth day, the CEO comes to us and he says, "What did you guys learn?" And we're like, "What do you mean?" He says, "What did you see over there that we should make?" And we started talking. And he said, "We should make this communicator, which opens, which says, 'Beam me up, Scotty.'" That communicator became the Star Tech phone at Motorola. Some of you who are old enough will remember the phone that used to open. It was called the Star Tech. It came because of Star Trek, the movie, TV show. We saw in there big screens. And we looked at those big screens and said, why can't we make a big screen like that where somebody can talk from another planet? Those big screens became the flat TVs. In 1990, our TVs looked like boxes in the corner of your house, big boxes. In Star Trek, they made the TV flat. So we said, why can't we make the TV flat also? We saw somebody coming on the screen from planet Mars. Say, "Hi, I'm from Mars and you are my enemy." But the guy from Mars was speaking in his own language. And Captain Kirk would say, "I'm not your enemy. I'm a good guy. I'm from Earth." He would speak in English. Mm-hmm. How did they speak to each other? Today we call that voice to text, text to language translation, back to voice. And that is about to arrive in Google, where you can speak in English to a Chinese person, and the Chinese person will hear in Chinese while they speak in Chinese back, and you'll hear it in English. It all was already discovered. That communication, today you call it FaceTime, you call it Skype, already discovered long time ago. In there, they had guns. Guns they call lasers. And when they were fighting with people, sometimes they fought with people who were not bad people. And they would say, Captain Kirk would say, these are not bad people. Don't kill them. Put your gun on stun. Gun on stun. Who would imagine a gun that does not kill? That became the taser. And we can continue with the story of what we saw in Star Trek, but we were inspired by the science fiction. We were inspired by the future. And we were asked, which part of that future do you like? And which part of the future will you make? And the greatest technologists, the greatest entrepreneurs do not wait for the future to come to you. You choose the future you desire and you make it. And that is how Motorola and the great companies out there were able to create future devices that when they came to the market, you and I would say, that's cool. But we needed help. Every one of you needs to become a nerd around trends. Every one of you should be going out there and having beers with each other and saying, what else could happen? What if? And if you do those things, then you might be able to imagine the problems of tomorrow, the solutions of tomorrow, and the right idea for today to work on to make that real. You need to be able to see the future. I'm going to move to the next section here, Professor PK.
Go ahead. Very interesting. Okay. Very good.
Excellent. So now we talk about trends. Let's look at human needs. Human needs are very simple. That's it. We are human beings. For thousands and thousands of years, we are the same people. Yeah, you might be from Europe, you might be from Africa, you might be from a different part of the world, but guess what? We eat, we drink, we like family. We have the same needs as everybody else. And these needs have to be served, and if you serve them, people will give you money for it. So you must really understand those needs. What I like about needs a lot is people like Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs didn't do a lot of market research. What he did do is saying, I don't like this. I'm a human being. If I don't like it, 1 million people probably don't like it either. And if I could find a solution for this thing, then others will also have this solution. So he didn't like the fact that everything was disconnected between the phone and the music device and the headphones, and he created seamless. And he says, we want seamless, we want simplicity. And he basically put everything together and made it simple. And that simple is what everybody wanted. Human needs are yours. If you look at how you spend your money, it becomes very clear what your human needs are. Whether it's eating food or whether it's going to the bathroom, those are human needs. Toilets, it's a big industry. A lot of money to be made in toilets, right? Diapers, anything that you might even be embarrassed to talk about. And it's a human need. Money is being made out there. Social, status, prestige, human need. Education, human need. And if you can provide those needs, you have an opportunity for them to say thank you, and then they'll give you money. But make sure human needs are being satisfied in what you're trying to do. Observe them, ask them, but also ask, would you use it? And usually you are probably the best gauge for whether it's a good innovation or not. On those basic human needs, because we have to understand our customers in groups, you also have to understand that there are trends of segments of people who are emerging. And there are many of them. For example, hang on a second, I'm going to just go over here. I don't have it. I'm going to go slow back over here. There are trends in the United States of African Americans. That's a segment and what they like. But on the other side, we have a segment which is increasingly being important, Hispanics. What do they need? And what are their needs which are in common? You want to aggregate the needs because you want to make sure the market is big. There are people who are global. A solution today in the US is the same as a solution in Korea and the same as a solution in somewhere else. If I ask you, what phone are you using? probably the same. If I ask you, what did you watch as a movie last week? It's the same globally. If I ask you what clothes you're wearing, what food you eat, we're becoming global. It's a big segmentation. Baby boomers, these are the people who were born a little bit they're about 60 years old and older. The richest population on the planet. These baby boomers are the ones who changed the world. This were the hippies. This were the yuppies. This were the everything. Every generation that has changed, these baby boomers have done it. They are now 60 years old and they're now demanding services for themselves. I want to look like I'm 50 years old even though I'm 60. I want to travel the world. I want to hike Machu Picchu. These baby boomers are fantastic and they're rich. They all have about $1 million in the US, if not more, of savings. And there's about 65 million of them in the US. 65 million times million dollars are about to be spent because they're about to exit the planet. And nobody wants to leave the planet without having spent their money. So they're going to spend the money. What do you want to serve them? What do you want to give them? This is a great market to target. These baby boomers produced babies, their own babies, and they were called the millennials. That's probably half of you guys on this call. Millennials were born sometime in 1980 onwards. And now you guys are about 30 to 40 years of age. You are in the workforce. You are no longer the topic. 10 years ago, everything was millennials are coming, millennials are coming. Well, guess what? You guys were important, but you are now part of the mainstream. But what's amazing about the millennials and the baby boomers is when the millennials get a new iPhone, the baby boomer, the dad, and the mom says, I want it too. When the millennials say, take a vacation to Hawaii, the baby boomer says, I'll join you too. And they work together, and therefore there's this incredibly large market to go after. You need to understand your customer segments. It's a great market to go after. But guess what? The earth turns around, and the earth turns around, and we get one day older, and these baby boomers are about to leave the planet. They have to exit. And as they exit the planet, there are two generations that begin to become important. My generation. We are the Gen Xers. We are the ones who run the planet at this moment. We are the vice presidents, we are the CEOs, but we are a smaller population because we were not part of World War II and a boom. So we are small, we are less, but we are the power generation. Nobody gives us any attention at all. Nobody talks about us as a market segment. But if you want to target us, maybe there's opportunity to make money from us too. But our children are called the centennials. And these children have never seen anything that does not go left, right, swipe, and touch on a screen. These are the true digital natives. And guess what? They look like babies right now, but they are about to be 18 to 20 years of age. And these are the new millennials. These are the guys who are going to enter the workforce, and they think and act differently. Just as we thought the millennials were weird, the millennials will think the centennials are weird. And every generation before us, we know, destroyed the planet. And your turn, millennials, is coming because you will be accused of also not having saved the planet too. But this is a turn, and this is a beautiful thing, and this is why innovation happens. Innovation happens because we have an off switch. That off switch of life means new people come in, and the new people will ask different things and always believe that the last generation screwed it up. And this is what Steve Jobs said. So I just want to make sure, do you understand the human needs? And do you understand how big the customer segments are? Target your ideas around customer segments. Okay. So if you have a big idea, what do you want to do? You want to intersect them with technology trends, RoboWait, ConnectiveWait, and then connect them with market groups. If they're big market groups, with your trends, you might have an idea that is really big. Big ideas, the big market segments, and we've got very, very interesting trends that are based on. Brings us to business models. Business models. Two companies doing the same thing. Two companies doing the same thing. One company makes more money. Okay? Imagine there's a company called Company A, and they've got 30 Toyotas that they want to sell. They're a dealership, a car dealership. They sell cars. A Toyota might cost $20,000. Their business model is to say, how much profit do we want to make? They say 50%. So say $20,000, let's add $10,000. The price of the car is $30,000. And they put a big sign up, cars for sale, $30,000. How many people in Boston or any city have got $30,000 to just buy a car? So let's say 10%. So 10% of the cars will be sold because 10% of the population can afford it. But how many people want cars? A lot more. But only 10% can buy it because that's all they can afford. Excuse me. Company B. Company B says, I'm gonna do a partnership with Santander. Santander Bank. There are many people in Boston who have jobs. Why don't you, Santander, give those guys a loan against the jobs they have, and they pay you every month? It'll be $400. And you, the bank, buy the car, and then you collect the money on a mortgage. How many people can afford that? Maybe 30%, maybe 40%. So 40% of your cars go out, the bank gives you the money, and you have more sales just by having a partnership. And the business problem of collecting the money, it's a bank's problem, not yours. You got paid. Well done. Which business model is better? Model A, Company A, or Company B? Well, clearly Company B sells more cars because of the partnership. That's a business model. Well, Company C comes along and says, that's interesting. I know what Company A is doing, what Company B is doing. I'm going to rent cars. And renting cars is like $100 a day. How many people in Boston can afford $100 to rent a car? Most people have probably $100 in the bank account. And therefore, they're able to rent a car every day. All the cars go out to the streets because people need to rent a car. It doesn't make the total money, but $100 a day over 200 days is $20,000. $20,000 is the cost of your car. And after 200 days, every time you rent a car, you're making money. And 2 years later, you're still making money. Which business model is better? Company A, Company B, or Company C? Company D comes along and says, I've got a different business model. And they say, we are going to maybe make them taxis. And we're going to do a partnership with drivers. And we'll put the cars out. And we're going to make the cars move back and forth across the street, picking people, dropping them off, and making money from the miles on the wheels. Is that a better business model? Maybe. Company Z, because there are so many business models. Company Z comes along. Company Z says, I'm going to go to a company like Natura or Apple or P&G. Let's go to P&G. Hey, P&G, how much money do you spend putting advertisements on billboards in Boston? We spend about $3 million. Ads on the billboard, new product. This is a new thing. Use our Swiffer, use this. Okay, how about this? What if I tell you I've got 30 billboards and you can put your ad on our cars, and all 30 cars will have the latest product, and we'll have these cars moving everywhere across Boston. $3 million. We'll advertise for you. We'll move the cars wherever you want to. What do you think? And they say, yes, I like it because now I've got moving billboards. And now I ask you guys, how many of you would like a free car? Which business model is better? One payment from Procter & Gamble and I give free cars away? Or trying to sell one car at a time? Or with a loan? They're all different. What you have to do is ask yourself, as much energy that you put on your idea to make your idea better for the customers and solutions, you have to put the same energy to think about the business model. The business model makes the money. And if you give the right energy to the business model, then two people with the same idea, the one with the better business model is going to win. And people do not give attention to business models. At all the top companies, there are two teams. One is on the product and one is on the business model. And they work together to figure out what is the best business model that we should be using. Should we be renting? Should we be doing a subscription? Should we give something away for free? Should we be doing a partnership? And those who come up with those right business models will win big time. This is a big insight. And most people spend more energy making their idea better, but they put very little energy on the business model. It's the business model that will make you money.
Wonderful. Very, very good and interesting approach with the same product, the car. You can build different business. And this is about MBAs. This is about how the chief executive officer of the company are thinking about different business model and different ways of providing value that somebody pays. Very, very interesting. HP, we are in the last 10 minutes of your presentation in order to open the discussion with the audience, but I feel that you are fine in terms of time. But
good.
Go ahead.
You stop me anytime. I got lots of things I can talk about, but certainly stop anytime. Okay.
No, but yes, we can conclude the concept, and after that we will open a discussion. Good, wonderful.
Okay. So now when we talk about an idea that shouldn't be copied, it's really important for all of you to think about, on the day of creating your idea, to think about how to block your competitor from copying you. A lot of people don't pay attention to that. They think that we'll worry about that later on. We're so far ahead. We're so much better. And I want to share with you 3 techniques that are used effectively to really win big. And they come straight from Michael Porter. When Michael Porter talked about existing businesses in strategy, he said there are 3 ways to win. And the 3 ways to win was either you were the biggest, so your cost of operations would be the lowest. Your ability to acquire customers would be low. You can negotiate with your suppliers because you could negotiate volume with them, and you go with scale. So getting big is a very important priority in your strategy for the idea as you go to the market. If you can get big quickly, then your competitor, as they enter the market because they like what you have, will still, because they're smaller, will have to pay more for any components or cost of a customer acquisition. Scale matters. Get big as fast as you can. Staying small and going slow, staying small is not a good idea. You must think about how to get big fast because you have tremendous competitive advantage if you are bigger. Number 2, if that's not what you want to pursue, that's okay because it's expensive to scale up. Then you can go with this thing called differentiation. Differentiation basically says that there is no way to compare my product to your product. That's all it means. So when a customer looks at what you have and they say, who else is selling something like this? They should not be able to find a match. And if they cannot find a match, then you cannot do a price comparison. You are trying to avoid price comparisons. If they can compare prices, the price will go down to your variable cost. So you say, you can't compare my product to anybody else's. So how does that work? I'm going to give you a really cool story, and this cool story hopefully will become permanent in your head. Many years ago, there was a product launched by Apple called the iPad. And nobody had ever imagined that an iPad would launch. And out of the blue, Apple launches this flat little device that you can touch, and exactly what Professor Piquet is holding in his hand. And this device comes out and like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is so thin and you can see everything and you can carry it easily. Why didn't we think about this before? And when that launched, Samsung had this moment in the boardroom of Korea, in Seoul. They had the oh shit moment, excuse the language.
It's called the oh shit moment, which is basically you see in the market a competitor with a product and you're like, we didn't even know that was going to happen. And they're like, what do we do? And they immediately started doing what they do best at, is benchmarking and reverse engineering. They started reverse engineering what iPad looks like, and they quickly put a team together to make an iPad. It took them about 9 to 12 months to make a copy of the iPad. And they were like, wow, that was fast. Look at us. We are amazing. We are brilliant. And they launch it. Guess what happened on the very same week as the copycat of Samsung launches? Apple launches iPad 2. And iPad 2 is smaller. And guess what? iPad 2 also has a camera. The copycat of Samsung is a copycat of iPad 1. No camera, it's big, it's ugly, it's terrible. It looked beautiful when Apple launched, but now it looks like an ugly device because the iPad 2 looks smaller, better screen, and a camera. So again, in the boardroom of Samsung, they go through, oh my God, oh shit. And when they do that, they start working on the next copycat. But guess what? Again, as they launch, there's iPad 3. Now, the insight on this is, it wasn't that Apple was building things. It was on the very first day when they were talking about the breakthrough called the iPad. They were asking, what should iPad 1 look like? What should iPad 2 look like? And what should iPad 3 look like? What should version 1, 2, and 3 look like? And how are they significantly different from each other that customers will be wowed each cycle? And they also timed it so that when you launch, how long would it take to launch iPad 2? That calculated how long will it take the copycats to copy. And therefore, we had to make sure we launch about in the same window so that you never give your competitor a foot in the door to make you look bad. That's called differentiation. It's called pipeline management. Pipeline management is what is called as a strategy. And this is how big companies manage things. And this is why they have version 1, 2, 3, 4. There is an iPhone 14, 16, 17. There is an iCar 1 and an iCar 2 and iCar 3. There is an iHealth. There is an iWife 1.0 and 2.0 coming from Apple. There is going to be versions. But that's how they differentiate. And the last way they do this is through unique access. Unique access is basically going to your partners and tell them, hey, look, we've been trying to build an ecosystem, and I would like you to be part of our ecosystem. Can you commit? Can you commit to just supplying me the components? Can you commit to only being my customer? Can we find a way to lock you in? It's called lock you in. They lock you in. I am locked in, unfortunately, with American Airlines. I hate it, but I'm locked in. And therefore, I fly American Airlines everywhere because I get the points and the mileage. It's a unique access for those guys. La Salle has got unique access to all the alumni of La Salle University. All the alumni love La Salle, and therefore they got a badge, and La Salle has got unique access to the students to do lots of things. Unique access is a very powerful way to keep your customers together, make sure they're loyal to you, and make sure they don't go to the other side. My tribe versus your tribe. And we lock the access in to do that. Those are the 3 major ways that barriers to entries are. You can do trade secrets, you can do patents, you can do those sort of things, but they are not helping you always build a business. These 3 help you drive sales, they help you drive costs down, they help you actually build a business. And all entrepreneurs must work on building the business, scale, differentiation, unique access. I'll stop here. We can do questions and everything else.
Yeah, we can open because really, when I was talking with my organization, I told them we need not only 1 hour with HP, we need 10 hours. But you know, a master class is not 10 hours. But by the way, I will tell you later that perhaps I will tell you at the end of the presentation some key elements in relation with LaSalle. But let's go to the questions because now we were delivering a very wonderful presentation, very comprehensive. They can really take away the key insights for Monday, for tomorrow, for whatever they are doing tomorrow. They can really take these lessons and they can apply as an MBA students to their businesses. Some of the questions are relation about, okay, you talk about trends, but for instance, Natalia Sierra, where can we find those trends? There is or you have to read the Excel presentations or Excel documents, or what kind of trend? Or at the end of the day, a management, an CEO, an MBA, they have to look at for like a Gartner, some trends, information that really can really find. This is the first question, where they can find that kind of trends.
Sure. So the thing is, first I want to introduce to each one of you that you should be looking for trends, right? And I will talk to my kids and ask them, what are you using? And they'll be using Snapchat or something else. I look for things that are happening, which are different from yesterday. Right now, Clubhouse is a very big trend. People are beginning to get on Clubhouse so that they are bypassing LinkedIn and maybe Facebook. There's a trend going on there. There's a trend right now because people have stayed at home for so long and they're getting used to cooking at home, doing things at home. I'm calling it the at-home revolution. What I want to advise you to do is, of course, you can read books and you can read articles about trends. There are people called futurists who can help you tell you what the trends are. There are science fiction you can watch. There's a great TV show on Netflix called Black Mirror. Everybody should watch Black Mirror.
Yes, yes, for sure.
Oh my God, this is crazy. This is the future world. But that future world is coming, right? It's going to come. So you got to watch that. So science fiction, reading books, going to conferences, talking to weird people and different people will help you do that. But I want you to understand what a trend is and think what's changing. How will the buses change? How will the car change? How will my house change? How will my education change? And keep on asking those questions, what's changing? And there are three things happening on change. Something is increasing, something is decreasing, and something is staying the same. So you ask with every trend, is it increasing, decreasing, or staying the same? But your best tool for getting what Professor PK said, the insight, is the trend awareness and aha has to be your own. When you get it yourself and you see it, you'll say, this is what I need to work on. This is the biggest thing, this idea.
Wonderful. HP, we are really on time. Really, we are over time. But if the audience have any question, we will be open. We have some questions about Monica Andrea Nieto. Do you think that the loyalty programs are a unique access way, for instance? Loyalty programs, it's a good tool for unique or special connection with your customers?
I think we are tribal and we are cheap and we want to repeat our habits that we do. So loyalty programs are appealing to keeping our habits the same way. Once we have a habit, we don't like to change. So we go to the same restaurants, we sleep on the same side of the bed. When we go take a shower, we'll brush our teeth first, or maybe we'll shampoo our hair next. But whatever we are doing, habits form. Loyalty programs makes you loyal. They work and they're effective. But you have to make sure that you do not cheat them. The loyalty program must deliver value on both sides.
Okay, you can stop to share your slides just for watching you in a big size. And really, let me tell you that we're really on time, but let me tell you first, thank you very much for your energetic presentation, because it means that you are transferring from Zoom this capability, and also in order to trust in ourselves, to create new things, and also to do big things. And second, it's about, let me offer you an invitation. I don't know what you are doing this summer, but I invite you to be in Barcelona. Barcelona is a good city, but at the end of the day, you have other city in your life, Florianopolis, but also Barcelona. And I will invite you to spend some days here at the campus just for sharing with us, and also for being interaction with in this summer with the students that will visit us, and also from our students. Please tell to your wife that she's also invited to be, because it will be in summer time, and also because you have people in Barcelona like Patricia that is member of IXL, and with the partnership that we have between IXL in Boston and La Salle in Barcelona, we can really deliver key value for that. Also in connection with our startups, as you know, you have been in our campus. We have the Innovation Park, La Salle Innovation Park. By the way, this year is the 20th anniversary of our park. We were creating more than 600 startups in these 20 years. We are now counting the number of investment is incredible, all the things that we were doing. And also, because I want you to be in connection with our startups to stimulate them, and not just our startups in the La Salle campus, also we will open to other startups and companies that perhaps can take advantage of your knowledge. Because at the end of the day, this is about dreaming, this is about to scale, this is about speed, and this is about the way, at the end of the day, to lead our reality. It means to really to create our future. Thank you very much, HP. This is really, it's wonderful because I am always learning from you. I was learning when you were at the campus time ago, when I was in Fortaleza with you, when I was in Florianópolis, but always learning. That's the reason why you are a visiting professor of our university. I'm very happy to be in relation with all IXL and also all your partners, also Manuel. Let's stop here just because the people, they are professionals that they are combining, and we will share, if you don't mind, your presentation for the audience. And also, please tell to your wife. I will invite you. We don't have the big meal or meat like in Medellin, but we have a wonderful paellas, and I will teach you how to cook a wonderful paella. And I will invite you to eat this paella in the Seven Doors restaurant or at home. But in any case, you are invited. Okay, good, wonderful, HP.
Thank you, Professor Piqué. I would love to be in Barcelona. I would love to be with your students. You have a great city, and my wife would be delighted. So thank you for the invitation, and thank you for the privilege of being able to speak with all your students today.
Okay, thank you very much, and thank you very much all the MBA students. Also, thank you very much MBA students to be with us. We were bridging Medellin and Barcelona today with the connection of Boston, and we'll be in touch, and enjoy the day and enjoy the life. We're in touch. Okay, good. Hitendra. ¿No me puedo ir, Hitendra? Ok, no me puedo ir. Ya le llamo por teléfono, no hay problema.
Professor Piqué.
Hi, you can stop your micro.
1 second.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, good. Okay, wonderful. No, yes. Wonderful. That was really good, very good. I didn't want to use the Zoom because some other students were there, and so wonderful presentation, Hitendra. I really appreciate your knowledge and also the